If you thought that after the Election Commission came down hard on four Netas yesterday that our leaders would start behaving themselves and start only saying what's appropriate and not run afoul of the Model Code of Conduct, well, no such thing happened today. Navjot Singh Sidhu joined the long list of leaders who were using a communal pitch saying that there were 64% Muslims in Katahir, and if all of them vote for the Maneka Gandhi, then Modi is out of business. That is clearly running afoul of the Model Code of Conduct. Azam Khan's son, meanwhile, said his father was being targeted because he's a Muslim. Once again, using religion to try and reach out to your voters. Now, the point is, has the Election Commission sent a strong enough message to force our erring Netas to fall in line, or does more need to be done? We'll debate that in a moment. Before that, here's a ground report.
मैं आप सबको चेतावनी देने आया हूं मुस्लिम भाइयों, ये बांट रहे हैं आपको.
This is senior Congress leader Navjot Singh Sidhu at Katahir in Bihar, telling Muslim voters to remain united and vote for the Congress. He insists if Muslims remain united, nobody will be able to defeat the Congress in Bihar.
माइनॉरिटी मेजॉरिटी में है यहाँ पे. यदि तुम इकट्ठे हुए और इकट्ठे होके एकजुट होके वोट डाला तो सब उलट जाएंगे, मोदी सुलट जाएगा.
Despite the Election Commission cracking the whip and banning leaders from Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath to BSP Supremo Mayawati and Samajwadi Party's Azam Khan, the leaders remain unapologetic. Azam Khan's son, Abdullah Azam Khan, claims Azam Khan is being victimized for being Muslim.
आपने बैन कर दिया सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि आजम खान मुसलमान थे. भारतीय जनता पार्टी को खुश करने के लिए आजम खान को बैन करना बहुत जरूरी था.
Mayawati too blames the Election Commission for being anti-Dalit.
पीएम श्री नरेंद्र मोदी के विरुद्ध अभी तक भी मुख्य चुनाव आयोग की इनको नोटिस जारी करने की हिम्मत नहीं हो पा रही है. इससे मुख्य चुनाव आयोग की दलित विरोधी मानसिकता साफ नजर आती है.
On Tuesday, Yogi Adityanath visited the Bajrang Setu temple in Lucknow to chant the Hanuman Chalisa, insisting Election Commission could not stop him from offering prayers. The Supreme Court refused to entertain Mayawati's plea for revocation of the ban, but the BJP insists they will approach the Election Commission against the 72-hour ban on Yogi Adityanath. Political discourse appears to have fallen to a new low of the crucial 2019 elections. Bureau Report, India Today.
For the longest time, it seemed this election duel didn't have a referee at all. Suddenly, the referee is woken up. He's issuing one red card after another. The players are objecting. They are crying themselves hoarse, saying, "Nahi, maine foul nahi kiya." The referee, for the time being, isn't listening. But on the show tonight, I want to ask, will the Election Commission's clamp down on erring Netas now see Netas fall in line and an improvement in the kind of content we've seen in their speeches for the remaining 6 phases? Or will it stay downhill? Has the EC bitten hard enough? Can it do more? Will the action that's been taken fix the behavior, the speeches, the attitude and the oratory of our Netas? Joining us on the Newstrack showdown tonight, I want to introduce first S.Y. Qureshi, one of our most respected former Chief Election Commissioners. With us on this broadcast, representing the BJP, Nupur Sharma. Pawan Khera represents the Congress. Ashutosh Verma is a spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. S.Y. Qureshi, I want to come to you first. We're seeing howls of protest from Mayawati, from Azam Khan's son, from Yogi Adityanath. They're refusing to accept that they did any wrong. They're saying, we didn't commit a foul. This red card has been shown for no fault of ours. Despite these howls of protest, do you think a strong enough message has been sent by the EC in all these red cards? Will the Netas now behave themselves in the remaining 6 phases?
Well, these two these two actions have been very good, no doubt. But then there have been so many other cases where action has not been taken, which is why the Election Commission neutrality has been questioned. And I would say for the first time of this magnitude, fingers have been raised now and again. But this time, the fact that 73 the very senior civil servants, retired civil servants wrote to the president. The fact is that questions are being raised. And I would surely maybe sometime during the show, I would like you to take you to the root of this problem and find a solution. But it is true that the credibility is being questioned, and by these two actions they have tried to restore the balance. And the grievance generally is, if the election commission is not considered to be even-handed, they take action against one and they let go the other. That is where the problem begins, and that seems to be the problem even now.
But the EC has gone out and maintained some kind of a balance. If there is one Yogi Adityanath, there's one Mayawati. If there's one Azam Khan, there's one Maneka Gandhi. So they're trying to send out a balance that this action is not against the opposition or against the government alone. We are showing red cards to all, Mr. Qureshi, regardless of their political affiliation.
Yes, I suppose if that is how the political parties take it and then they behave accordingly, I'll be very happy.
Okay, I want to go across to Nupur Sharma now. Will the red cards that have been shown by the Election Commission lead to a behavioral change? Will we see a higher standard of discourse from BJP leaders? Some of the comments that we've seen from some of the top BJP leaders have drawn ire of the EC, making people believe that this is really going south, the level of discourse going down. Will we now expect an improvement? Can we expect an improvement? Nupur Sharma.
Well, Rahul, first things first, on what basis the EC decides and what deliberations go on and what finally they decide to do, be it banning somebody for a couple of days and so on and so forth, is completely the EC's prerogative. However, one so-called manufactured controversy should be laid to rest, that the EC is not neutral. I think the first thing that the opposition parties should start doing is perhaps just stop undermining a constitutional body like the EC, because we all have seen how unnecessarily big institutions like Supreme Court of India and the Election Commission and many other sundry institutions have been undermined and have been at the receiving end of
by Nupur Sharma, because the opposition was alleging, Pawan Khera, that the EC is acting on the Prime Minister's behest, on the BJP's behest. However, it's red-carded Maneka Gandhi. Even more importantly, Yogi Adityanath has been red-carded, suggesting for every leader of the opposition they've gone against, they've also gone against a member of the ruling dispensation. Are you then willing to take back that charge of the EC not being fair and impartial?
Rahul, it took days and days of relentless efforts by the Congress party, intervention of Honorable Supreme Court for the Election Commission to wake up. The Election Commission did not wake up when none other than the Prime Minister of India was seeking votes in the name of the armed forces, was using divisive and obnoxious language vis-a-vis Wayanad. Majority becomes minority, minority becomes majority, so on and so forth. The EC did not wake up when Amit Shah raked up the NRC for the entire country and mentioned 3 communities, blacked out the other 2 communities. What was that? So EC only wakes up when the Supreme Court intervenes. The EC only wakes up when the Congress party and other opposition parties keep knocking at its door. The EC was getting embarrassed. And I must say, to the credit
do you
of the
accept
election,
this, that the EC woke up from its slumber only after the Supreme Court virtually reprimanded the EC, saying, we'll summon the CEC in the next 30 minutes. What are you doing? Are you using your powers? You can't drag matters in this fashion. Get into action immediately. Those were the words of the 3-judge bench led by the Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi. Do you think they got a whack from the Supreme Court, which is why they got activated? Before that, they were sleeping? S.Y. Qureshi.
Well, it's unfortunate it has come to such a pass, because there was a time when the courts respected every decision of the Election Commission, and court themselves, Supreme Court itself, has said time and again that it cannot interfere in anything in the electoral matters once the electoral process has been set in motion. If every other day now the parties are going to the court and the court is coming out with its decision, like VVPAT issue, all these things should have were not happening.
Pawan Khera also alleges that the EC hasn't acted against the BJP president and the Prime Minister, even though they too are guilty of having made statements which run counter to the model code of conduct, where they are using soldiers, for example, to seek votes, or the comment made on the NRC and certain communities being left out. Do you agree, Mr. Qureshi? Should action be taken against the BJP president and the Prime Minister?
I think, the use of the armed forces is definitely a violation of the order of the Election Commission, which was reiterated. It is an order of 2013, which was reiterated recently, and it is a clear violation. And also one or two other speeches also which had communal appeal, they were probably more vicious than even Yogi's. And I think they also deserve to be taken notice of.
Nupur Sharma, the Chief Election Commissioner, makes the point that action should also be taken against the BJP President and the Prime Minister for having made statements which are communal in nature, which run afoul of the Model Code of Conduct. He's saying that the EC got activated only after the Supreme Court virtually left the Election Commission with no opportunity but to act. Nupur.
Well, first and foremost, I'm no spokesperson for the Election Commission. Like I said, it's not my prerogative, it is their prerogative of what they do. But I'll first come to Mr. Pawan Kheda. Stop pretending to be holier than thou. Then according to your description that you just gave, Kamal Nath should actually not be the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. We all remember there was a video where he point blank asked Muslims to vote 90% towards the Congress, and only today your leader Navjot Singh Sidhu has actually gone fear-mongering amongst Muslims and has gone on record to say that there will be conspiracies against you, so please vote for the Congress party. Thirdly, Rahul Gandhi has very publicly and infamously so said we are a Muslim party, and on the day of your manifesto launch has said hum sab Hindu hai. So I think the first action should also be taken against Rahul Gandhi. And Mr. Pawan Kheda, you out of all people compared a Prime Minister and you called him names, including you called him terrorist and 3 terrorists and also called him ISI. Mr. Pawan Kheda, according to that, half of Congress party would be sitting at home. Now, as far as the Election Commission is concerned, and it's currently deliberating both Mr. Rahul Gandhi's statements and the Prime Minister's statements, I am of the view that nothing in the Model Code of Conduct or even the Constitution of India says that national security is not an issue in elections. National security is of paramount importance. It should be a priority
Pawan
issue.
Kheda,
And there is
some of what
nothing
we've
in the
seen
law
from the
book
Congress
would
leadership would lead us to question it's not as if the Congress is Doodh Ka Dhula in any case. Rahul Gandhi virtually runs into contempt of court when he says the Supreme Court has said that Prime Minister is a chore, that he gave money to Anil Ambani, that he favored him. The Supreme Court is seething, is furious with Rahul Gandhi having distorted what the Supreme Court said. So it's not as if there's only one party that's carrying out faults and you all are running a very kosher campaign. You're not.
Rahul, first of all, Rahul Gandhi never said we are a Muslim party or we are a Hindu party. Nupur needs to correct her facts. She should stop attending the WhatsApp University. Number 2, what happens between Supreme Court and Rahul Gandhi is a separate debate as compared to what's happening between the EC and the BJP leaders. Let's wait for what the Supreme Court has to say and then we can debate this also.
No, it's on the issue of
3,
distortion and manipulating what happened in the Supreme Court. One second, Pawan Kheda. If Rahul Gandhi says Supreme Court has found the Prime Minister gave benefits to Ambani, that yes, that Prime Chowkidar chore hai, he said that's what the Supreme Court said. It's on the issue of the campaign, it's about the quality of the rhetoric, and your leader is as guilty of having not followed what the Supreme Court said and completely cooked up something which is not what the Supreme Court said.
Sir, is Rahul Gandhi dividing society? Is he asking for votes on communal lines? No.
Rahul, do allow me.
Is he saying, no, may I please be allowed to finish?
Yes, please.
This is a matter between the Supreme Court and Rahul Gandhi. Let's see what the Supreme Court has to say. We are currently discussing the robustness of our institutions. ये कहते हैं ना 70 साल में कुछ नहीं किया, तो ये आपको नतीजा दिख गया। 70 साल में ये इंस्टीट्यूशंस खड़ी की हैं हमने कि अगर इलेक्शन कमीशन को आप डरा दें, सुप्रीम कोर्ट गेट्स इनटू इट, एंड दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस. द रिजर्वॉयर ऑफ पावर्स, quote unquote, the honorable Supreme Court vis-a-vis the EC. This is what has been done in the last 70 years. We have created institutions which even Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah cannot sabotage.
Ashutosh Verma, one second. I want to go across to the Samajwadi Party leader, because this battle is not just between the BJP and the Congress. There are also regional parties and whose leaders are saying, whose leaders are commenting on the color of the underwear of their opponents. And instead of condemning what Azam Khan says, Akhilesh Yadav and the SP top brass is actually coming out and defending it. What sort of rhetoric is this? What sort of discourse is this? The Akhilesh Yadav and the top leadership of the Samajwadi Party, Ashutosh Verma, should have come out and condemned what Azam Khan said. Not one word of condemnation from any SP leader. It's a shame.
Rahul, actually, he was not defending, he was just saying that Azam Saab was saying something else and you have quoted something else. And I think at this juncture of point, Azam Khan has come twice or thrice in front of media and saying that I was not commenting on some win, neither he has taken a name of any leader at that time. Whatsoever, he has given an explanation. But see the arrogance of Bharatiya Janata Party. Neither the Yogi Adityanath ji, neither Maneka Gandhi, who is in the power, in the center and the state, they have come for even a single explanation to the country. And today, what CM Yogi Adityanath has done, he came to same temple in the morning and started worship there, where Rajnath Singh has to started his roadshow. And this is a clear-cut violation of being banned from for 2 or 3 days. He is just coming in the media and taking the highlights there. Rahul, it's very problematic because,
can I come in, Rahul?
Because Bharatiya Janata Party started all these things on the 14th February when Pulwama attack has been taken. You see how the BJP whole party has changed their narrative.
Please allow
what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. SY Qureshi, this argument is bogus. Azam Khan's son says, Abdullah Azam says, one second, Ashutosh Sharma.
Who just wear the army every day.
One second. You are saying that he's not commenting about Jayaprada's undergarments? I'm sorry. He makes a whole comment on Jayaprada and says, "Mujhe to pata chal gaya tha that she wears khaki underwear." That comment is directly on Jayaprada. Whether he names Jayaprada in that one sentence or not is immaterial. And the problem here, SY Qureshi, is none of the leaders are willing to accept that they erred. They're all coming in one way or the other, brazening it out, or saying, "Nahi, mera wo matlab nahi tha." Nobody is saying, "I'm sorry." There is no remorse, there is no apology.
So that unfortunately is the situation when model code is not taken the way it should be. Please remember that model code is the creation of political parties themselves. So in the 1960s, there was a time when the parties thought that they need a voluntary code themselves, and today is the time when they are competing in violating the model code, which is a very unfortunate situation, and Election Commission has to come down heavily and even-handedly, as you said earlier, and then only some sanity will be restored.
Can I come in, Rahul? I just
Nupur Sharma, I want to ask SY Qureshi, who do you think is more at fault here, Mr. Qureshi? Are all parties equally guilty? Relatively speaking, is there one party who you think has erred more than the others? Who needs to buck up and reform their speeches, reform their actions most?
Well, as I said, all parties. Obviously, it is clear that all parties, so somewhere or the other, they are taking liberty with the model code, and increasingly they're testing the ground. They're testing the patience and the spine and the backbone of the Election Commission.
Nupur Sharma, it's almost as if you're stretching the band as much as you can. Dekhte kahan tootta hai. Let's see where the Election Commission gets involved. Let's push the band just about as much as we can. You're testing how much the model code of conduct can be stretched.
First and foremost to Mr. Pawan Kheda. Mr. Pawan Kheda, Nadeem Javed is your minority cell leader, and he's gone on record to say that yes, in the minority cell meeting, Rahul Gandhi did say hum Musalmanon ki party hai. Maybe you can argue with the newspaper which actually printed this news. However, I went to the London School of Economics.
Incorrect.
Maybe you went to WhatsApp University. Please allow me to complete. I wasn't interrupting when you spoke. You are incorrect. We all know Rahul Gandhi did also say that, you know, hum Hindu hai, hum sab Hindu hai. You didn't contest that. Maybe you need to actually find out whether you went to WhatsApp University. Secondly, when you speak about undermining constitutional authority, I clearly remember the Supreme Court when you were in power under UPA 2 saying that you made the CBI a cage parrot. You also actually within this NDA 2 government, you also tried to a very failed impeachment attempt under the against the Chief Justice of India, and I don't know why unceremoniously withdrew it, because your people got cornered. I don't want to get into how you have undermined the entire constitution by actually going into implementing the emergency also. So please, I mean, please don't pretend to be holier than thou. As far as Mr. Verma, I think, is concerned, Mr. Verma, you also have a leader called Mr. Guddu Pandit.
Are we going
Do you have
through
something
history
to say?
lessons, or can we,
I just,
or rhetoric, or what is
it? But Mr. Pawan Kheda, maybe these lessons weren't taught at your WhatsApp University. They were taught at London School of Economics and the Delhi University, where you did not go. Now, as far as Guddu Pandit is
Rahul,
concerned,
we can't go through the history of India. I'll also then come up with some history. Let's talk about the history of this election. Revenue Secretary को चिट्ठी लिखी है Election Commission ने, ये पहली बार हुआ है कि आप जो रेड्स कर रहे हैं, जो रेड्स केस डाल रहे हैं आप लोग इनकम टैक्स की, रेवेन्यू सेक्रेटरी को लेटर गया है इलेक्शन कमीशन का, ये पहली बार हुआ है, ये पहली बार हुआ है। और ये कहना कि मैं हिंदू हूँ इज नॉट डिवाइडिंग द सोसाइटी बाय द वे। ये कह देना कि मैं हिंदू हूँ का मतलब ये नहीं कि समाज को हम बांट रहे हैं। माफ कीजिएगा आप, यू आर स्ट्रेचिंग इट अ लिटिल टू फार, इट वोंट वर्क, इट वोंट वर्क। गुजरात चुनाव में प्रधानमंत्री कहते हैं कि अगर कांग्रेस जीत गई तो मुसलमान मुख्यमंत्री बन जाएगा। जनरल दीपक कपूर पाकिस्तान के साथ मिल गए हैं, सुपारी ले ली है, ये होता है इलेक्शन कमीशन की वायलेशन।
I can't allow this beyond a point. One second.
अरे आप
This makes no sense. All filters go down. One second. I can't allow this to go on because, you know, I'm struggling to make sense of what's being said. The fact is, and I'm running out of time and a bit of patience as well, Mr. Qureshi, what's very clear is you can't leave it to the BJP, the Congress and the Samajwadi Party to play by the rules. They are bending and pushing as much as they can, which is where the role of Sunil Arora and the entire team at the Election Commission is of paramount importance. The moment they see a foul, khatak, red card, out you go. That's the way to go. 2 days, 3 days in the beginning, maybe a complete bar on campaigning if the foul gets repeated. Do you believe it needs to be like the yellow card, red card system and then ultimately a suspension? If you continue this nonsense, you're out of the campaign. You have to send that kind of a message.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. In fact, you know, there is an institutional weakness, Rahul, which I would like to point out, that while CEC once appointed under the constitution scheme of things, he cannot be removed except through impeachment, so he feels secure. The other two members do not enjoy that protection, and they feel they are on probation, and they feel if they do not conduct themselves in a particular way, maybe they will not be elevated, which is a very unfortunate situation. And the protection which is given to the CEC should be extended to the other two also. No, because originally when the constitution was framed, there was a one-man commission. The protection was not for an individual but for the institution.
No, but here's what I wish to say in conclusion to Sunil Arora and to every member of the Election Commission. What you do over the next 35 days will determine how the voters of India perceive the institutional credibility of the Election Commission of India. Chief Election Commissioners come, Election Commissioners go, that is of no consequence. The spine and the resilience that is shown will really determine how voters view the work and the sanctity of the Election Commission. Therefore, no matter who it may be, whether it's the Prime Minister, whether it's a BSP chief, an SP chief or whoever else, if they commit a foul, you need to come down. The people of India, the voters will back you because they know some of what is being said is wrong and they want the referee to call it out impartially. And that's the one good thing that we're seeing. We're seeing action against opposition leaders and government leaders and strong leaders on both sides. That needs to continue. You can't leave it to the Congress or the BJP to behave themselves. They will push their limits. That's where the referee comes in and the referee must do his job. I'm glad that that black band on the referee's eyes are off. I hope it stays that way throughout the duration of this grueling match. S.Y. Qureshi, Ashutosh Verma, Nupur Sharma, Pawan Khera for joining me on the Newstrack Showdown tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.